let's talk about podcasts. A lot of times podcasts seem overwhelming, and it seems like something that maybe I don't know why I should do a podcast. Why is that important? How is that valuable? How is that going to help do my target demographic? The point of having a podcast for you as a business broker is several things. There's three main reasons why you want to make sure that you have a podcast. The first is that you want to create content. One of the things you want to make sure that you control is the narrative about you as an authority out there in the world of business brokerage, M&A, intermediary, whatever your role and title is in this umbrella of business brokerage. You want to make sure that you control the narrative about you in the marketplace, which means you are the authority. You are the trusted advisor. When you have a podcast, it's an easy way, and I do mean easy way of producing a lot of content. Imagine you have a 20 to 25 minute conversation with someone on a podcast. Then what happens is you take that video and audio, it goes out there. So the audio is going to go on your podcast streams like iTunes and things like that. And then the video you would put on YouTube. That's the main content. Now, from that, there is probably, if it's a 25-minute episode, there is probably somewhere between 3 and 5 shorter clips that are going to be valuable as well from that content. So if you're doing an interview show, the things that your guest says, your interactions that you have with them, there's probably 3 to 5 really good 3 to 5 minute segments that can be pulled out of that are really valuable nuggets. In your podcast, you might do the standard things of tell me about how you got into business and how you started your business. And then there's going to be the tips, the nuggets, the things that they did to reach the point where they're at. There's going to be 3 to 5 medium length segments that are really valuable, that are going to be really good clips that you can put together. And then what you want to do is take those clips, and then those clips can go on YouTube as well. They can go on LinkedIn because LinkedIn only allows up to a certain length video. And then you can upload them on LinkedIn, and then they will be in there natively, which is very valuable for LinkedIn. Then what happens is out of that 25 to 30 minutes, there's probably also 15 to 20 small clips. There's probably 15 to 20 of those 1 minute long short segments that you can pull out of a conversation of that length. Now, if you had an hour-long podcast, there's going to be a ton of those things in there. But for a shorter one, you're going to have that much content that you can pull out. Here's the key is I want you to think about your marketing and your content as digital breadcrumbs. You're leaving digital breadcrumbs for people to find. Could be the business owner. It could be a referral partner. It could be something like that, where literally they're more likely to see a short clip that's just going to pop up in their feed if they're on YouTube. So I consume mostly YouTube out of any social media platform. I'm watching shorts come up, and then I go down this rabbit trail of those kind of shorts, and it just one thing leads into another. So what you want to do is leave those digital breadcrumbs in the 1 minute shorts that lead to the 3 to 5 minute clips, which then lead into the 25 to 30 minute episode and the full length conversation. And then people get to know you, they see the value, they subscribe, they like. By the way, as a reminder, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, hit the bell notification, and tune in for more of this content. Obviously, you found this somehow in some kind of digital breadcrumb that led you here, and which means it's working. That's the key that you want to do. And when you do a podcast, if you did a monthly show, think about this, that you would have 25, 30-minute video and audio. Think of the medium clips, think of the short clips. Now think of the fact that most people speak about 100 words a minute, depending on the pacing and things like that. I generally talk a little fast. I don't pause. I'm not dramatic. I don't do all of those things. I just go. And so most people talk at about 100 words a minute, which means if you had a 25-minute podcast, that's 2,500 words or more from the transcript. Now, from the transcript, take that, you take out some content, something the guest says, something you even said, and then you just expand on that and create LinkedIn posts. You have the show notes, you have things that you can do all over the place. You have infographics. There's so much that comes from that. So even if you did a podcast episode once a month, you could fill the month's worth of content that you would want to do if you did 2 LinkedIn posts a week, if you had 1 YouTube video a week in the 3 to 5 minute plus some shorts, 2 or 3, 4 shorts a week, you're filling it in just from that one podcast recording. A lot of times I work with clients and they feel like filling up all of the content in a content calendar is a lot of work. And you can do some big items like a podcast or a webinar, and then that spins off into a bunch of content you can repurpose in all different ways. That's really, really valuable. Now, of course, there's lots of different ways, lots of strategies and things that you can do with the guest portion of it and helping them expand the reach of your podcast and your content by tagging them and making content for them specifically, which is the key. If all of this still seems overwhelming and you want some help with this, that's why we created Business Broker Growth, is as a marketing agency, but truly a growth agency to help you do these kind of things and create this content. If you want more information, check in the description below for a link to some of our resources, guides, maybe even reaching out. And the key is, what I've found is what keeps a lot of people from doing these things is all of the steps: setting up the podcast, the YouTube channel, the editing, the content creation, the repurposing. One of the things we focus on is making sure that you can just be the talent. I would love nothing more than you be the person that just shows up. You know what to say, you know what to talk about, you have your guest all lined up. You can just show up in the studio, virtual studio, record the podcast, and then everything else is done and then published on your behalf, which is why we created BBG and the team to help you do that. So if you want more information, you want more help on that, again, make sure to check in the description below and look for what would help you the most now, or maybe reach out to us and we can find a way to help you.